feet. It's like I know where I need to be, but I can't figure out, yeah, I can't figure out just how much air I will need to breathe when your tide rushes over me. There's only one way to figure out, but will you let me drown? Yeah, will you let me drown? And hey now, this is my desire, consume me like a fire, 'cause I just want something beautiful to touch me. I know that I'm married, 'cause I am down on my knees, I'm waiting for something beautiful. Oh, 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 something beautiful. And the water is rising quick, and for years I was scared of it. We can't be sure when it will subside, so I won't leave your side. No, I can't leave your side. Hey now, this is my desire, consume me like a fire, 'cause I just want something beautiful to touch me. I know that I'm married, 'cause I am down on my knees, I'm waiting for something beautiful. Oh, 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 something beautiful. Oh, 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 something beautiful. In a daydream, I couldn't live like this. I wouldn't stop until I found something beautiful. But when I wake up, and all I want I have, you know it's still not what I need. Something beautiful. Hey now, this is my desire, consume me like a fire, 'cause I just want something beautiful to touch me. I know that I'm in reach, 'cause I am down on my knees, I'm waiting for something beautiful. Oh, 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 something beautiful. Oh, 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 something beautiful.
John, you know how much your mother and I love you, and how proud we are of you. You amaze us, things you do, things you've done. And more so just who you are, the man you are, what God is doing in your life. So grateful. Give the Lord thanks every day. You're not a perfect person, none of us are, but a good foundation, good family, doing well. Just appreciate your walk with the Lord. So Lindsey, we have prayed for you before we ever knew who you were. Prayed for who Jonathan would marry one day. And then we met you. And we could kind of pray a little closer by name. And be a little more specific of the Lord. We thought you were great. You've just been such a blessing to our family. You fit in so well. Encourage us just to see you in your walk with the Lord. So then we had to really pray for Jonathan. You know, don't mess this up. You truly are a gift. Well, I would never be so bold as to pray for somebody like you for my son, but you are so far above and beyond what he deserves for sure.
He's already did that.
But we love you. And we're so thrilled. We wish all the best. And looking at these memories, I mean, since you were 16, it truly is unthinkable about what the Lord has in store for y'all. I just can't imagine. Cannot imagine. But I know the Lord will be with you. He'll bless you. And I'm excited for you. And I toast you. Cheers. Have a wonderful day.
Great to be here in these circumstances, and if you'll bear with me, I just have 7 or 8 pages of notes. So I thought it was about time we made this official, since Jonathan only had a learner's permit when they went on their first day. And I just wanted to thank you, Lindsey, for bringing Jonathan into our family. And it's just been wonderful to watch the two of you grow together for 7 years. And I think he's been on most of our family vacations for as long as I can remember. It's just been really a great blessing. And just, you know, to Ken and Melinda, just what a wonderful job, and to the extended family that just raising such a wonderful young man. And we're just very privileged to have him for our daughter. And I just want to say I'm just really so proud of both of y'all every day. And I've prayed for a godly man and a wonderful man for Lindsey. And I'd like to run, and I kind of run through my prayer list as I run, and that's something I've prayed for years and years. It's just great to see that be fulfilled. I just have so many wonderful memories thinking back on Lindsey's childhood. You know, this makes you kind of reflect back. And I think one thing that just kind of sums it up is I've always said that excuse me, it's impossible to be sad if Lindsey's in the room. Sort of a more recent story is when we were packing Lindsey up when she was graduating from Auburn, and we down there with a big moving van and everything, going to move everything out of Alpha Gam House, and we walked into her room, and like almost nothing had been prepared. I mean, it was like she didn't even know we were coming. And she said, "Well, Mom, Dad," she said, "there's been so much to do and so many people to see, and so far the people are winning." And that just kind of sums up Lindsey's life. I mean, she is, I'm kind of very detailed, task-oriented, but Lindsey's just so people-oriented in her entire life that people always win. Wish I could be more like you. I just a thought or two for 2 med students that are, you know, about to enter medical school and medical career. I just wanted to say that live or prepare for the future as though you're going to live forever, and praise God, we know you will. But live every day as though it was your last. And so don't delay everything until med school's over. Go ahead and live each day. And just may you both fall in love with one another every day. And there's a Getty hymn that I kind of reminded Lindsey of several times, just to kind of help get her through the MCAT preparation, which was such a bear, and that is, till the race is over and the work is done, walk by faith and not by sight. We had that written on Lindsey's bathroom mirror to study. And when the time is right, may your home be filled with sweet and beautiful children that bring you as much joy as Rachel, Lindsey, and Ben have brought Lisa and I. And may they be beastly soccer players. Yeah. And when the pastor's asked tomorrow who gives this woman, don't get the wrong idea. We don't give you completely away. But as you go tomorrow from being my princess to becoming Jonathan's queen, I just wanted to finish with a quote from one of my favorite poets, Sister Hazel. And I hope this captures just some of the feelings we have for one another. One line is, we may be bored, but the summer's free. So keep that in mind, you know, if you're a medical student. You spend all your tuition on the wedding. The rest of the lyrics are, won't you sing to me your poetry? Won't you take me to your home? Won't you be to me forever, so I'll never be alone? And just one thing.
If she's my queen,
it's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
Jonathan and Lindsey. Conry Blackmon. How about I slip that in?
Hey everybody, I'm David Blackmon. I'm Jonathan's older brother, and the best man. And I did not prepare a song. Sorry. But I do have a couple things to say. It was, 7 years ago that Lindsey came over to tutor Jonathan because he really needed help. And after they sort of started, talking, I told Jonathan, I was like, no, it's going to be at least 7 years before y'all can get married, and that's if you get married right after college. And congratulations, you did it. But I'm so glad you did. I'm so happy to have you, Lindsey, as a sister-in-law, and it has really been amazing watching y'all's journey. It's longer than most people, and high school and stages of life, and going off to college, and it's really amazing how God has just used that. I think that my parents are the two people that I feel like love to spend time together the most that I know, and I see that in y'all too. That I think the time apart, long distance, really instilled that in y'all, that y'all value all your time that y'all have together. But I wanted to say something to Conry's. So I have full faith that Jonathan is going to be the best husband for your daughter. When Jonathan was going off to college, he had a very easy choice of Auburn with his brother and girlfriend. All his family had been to Auburn. He was an Auburn fan, and he had friends going to Auburn, but he felt like the Lord was calling him to go to Covenant and do something completely different than what the status quo was. And Jonathan listened to the Lord and really sought to do his will. And that's something that I feel like is so much of who Jonathan is someone that seeks the Lord's will and tries his hardest to do it. And I think that that's why you're going to be a great husband. For Lindsey, I have some advice for living with Jonathan, or just some heads up, I guess. I don't know if it's advice, but Jonathan does not like to change the toilet paper roll. Sorry. I don't. I'm the one that does it, so it's probably going to fall on you. Sorry. Don't expect any food left in the fridge is free game. So don't think that you can start a meal and finish it later, because he's probably going to steal it. Also, Jonathan was notorious growing up for kicking in the bed, so good luck with that. But really, I am just so thrilled for y'all. It has been awesome seeing y'all grow, and we are so happy to have you joining our family. And cheers to y'all.
Cheers.
So I'll be reading from this so I can not deviate.
Be nice.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be here tonight to be celebrating the wedding of Lindsey and Jonathan. My name is Ben, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm Lindsey's favorite brother. I'm also her only brother, but that's besides the point. I was told 3 months ago that I would be giving a rehearsal dinner toast, so it is only logical that I would wait till last night at midnight to begin writing this. So forgive me for any parts that seem nonsensical, but here I go. It is a privilege to be able to call Lindsey Conry your sister. As soon as you speak to this extraordinary girl for just 5 minutes, you begin to see her compassion for people, her joy for life, and her love for the Lord. Me and Lindsey are more than brother and sister. We truly are friends that just got lucky enough to have the same parents. Lindsey has taught me so many lessons through the years, so I thought it would only be fair if I shared 3 of them with you, Jonathan. Me and Lindsey's all-time favorite movie is Kicking and Screaming, starring Will Ferrell. We have a couple favorite scenes and lines in the movie, including when Ambrose and Byung's son form a mega person to score a game-winning header in the championship game. Another favorite scene is when Byung's son repeatedly hits a Gatorade cup on his knee in front of the coach. And lastly, our favorite line is, quote, "But in the event that the pizzas do not arrive, I've already made the decision that we will eat Byung's son." Byung's son slowly backs up from the fire. Okay, we're not going to eat him, but he does look quite delicious, you have to admit. End quote. When we watch this movie together, I can say it's one of the few times in my life I truly have laughed until I cried. So lesson 1, Lindsey taught me, is life is too short, so if given the opportunity, laugh until it hurts. Next, Lindsey got a trampoline for her 9th birthday that she was quite controlling of, you could say. One day when we were bouncing on it playing Crack the Egg, which is a great game for those of you who don't know, Lindsey told me I had to stop bouncing so she could practice her back handspring, which I refused as any other younger brother would. A fight between me and Lindsey soon broke out, hair being pulled, punches being thrown, tears being shed. If you're having trouble picturing this moment, just imagine Rocky versus Mr. T fight scene with me being Rocky and Lindsey being Mr. T. Lindsey then told me that I had a farmer's tan at the age of 6. I didn't know what that meant, but I knew it was offensive. That was the boiling point, and I figured I only had one option. I had to run away from home. Even though I was 6, I thought I stood a pretty good chance of surviving out in the real world. One could imagine after getting in a huge fight with your brother, the last thing any sister would do would be chase after your brother who is now running away from home. But that is exactly what Lindsey did, sprinting after me up the neighborhood street. I made it a good 4 blocks, which is impressive for a 6-year-old, before being tackled by Lindsey into one of our neighbor's yards, where she immediately began apologizing for everything she had done as I tried to squirm free. So lesson 2, Lindsey taught me, is be the first to apologize and always chase after what you love, and don't let it slip away, no matter what that might be, for no matter what the instance is. Lastly, 2 summers ago, Lindsey studied tirelessly for the MCAT all day, every day. This was going to be her 2nd time to take it, and she was needing to improve on her first score. When she took the MCAT at the end of the summer, after studying countless hours, we received word that her score didn't increase from the first time she took it. Lindsey could have easily gotten upset with herself, the situation, and even God, and started to question his overall plan for her life. But instead, she showed incredible faith and kept working hard and trusted in God's sovereign plan. 1 year later, she would find out that she would be one of the first students accepted into Auburn's VCOM Medical School. So congrats. So lesson 3, Lindsey taught me, is no matter what happens in this life, we should walk by faith and not by sight, and trust God's incredible plan for our lives, no matter what obstacle life throws our way. Lindsey, all these years, you have been an incredible role model in my life, as you can see. So I thought I would write you a short song to express my gratitude. So, here it goes. I've been watching you, Linz, ain't that cool? I'm your buckaroo, I wanna be like you, and eat all my food, and hopefully grow taller than you are. We got bright red hair and freckles on our skin, yeah, we're just alike, hey, ain't we, Linz? I wanna do everything you do. So I've been watching you. And thank you. And in closing, I knew one day I would stand before a crowd at Lindsey's wedding rehearsal, as I do today, and look at the man she has chosen in the eye and say, "You are not worthy. Go home." What I did not expect was to be standing here a guy like Jonathan, who has been more like a brother to me than anything else, and to be admitting that he is certainly worthy of my sister. Jonathan, I truly admire you as a man, and couldn't imagine a better guy to be marrying my sister. I truly mean that. So I ask y'all to join me now in raising a glass to Lindsey and Jonathan, hoping neither of y'all can sleep tonight or the rest of your lives, because reality is finally better than your dreams. Cheers.
Hey y'all, I'm Rachel, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm Lindsey's sister. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to follow that. If you know me, you know that if I were to stand up here and tell you everything that I love and admire about my sister, I'd keep you here all night. She's wonderful. And guys, if you knew me well between the ages of 2 and 6, you would know that I would have told you I wanted to be an only child, which was awful. I was wrong. And even though I was less than a model older sibling, Lindsey, when she was 2 and I was 4, told all of our preschool teachers that she wanted to marry me. Because if you got married to somebody, you got to live together when you were older, and you got to have a family, and you got to do all sorts of fun things like beach vacations. And I was not the kindest older sister, and I was like, man, no thanks. But I do have to say, you had a pretty good first choice. And in my humble opinion, I was going to have really high expectations for you, like exceeding that first choice. And man, your second choice is so much better. Jonathan, we love you, and we are so excited for you to be a part of the family. So she only had to wait 14 years between being 2 and wanting to marry me and meeting the man of her dreams. And I remember shortly after y'all started dating and Jonathan started coming around more and more, Dad and I were taking a walk in the neighborhood. And Dad was asking me what I thought about Jonathan, since he was around pretty often and it looks like he might be staying. And I was saying that I'd really, really enjoyed time with him and thought really highly of him, even as like a 16-year-old. And my dad made the comment that it was a shame that y'all had met so early. And I asked him what he meant by that, because to me, it seemed wonderful to have found somebody that you really cared about when you were 16 years old. And Dad, who married his high school sweetheart, so he knows this well, said they've got a really long time to wait before they're ready to be married. And y'all did, and that made me kind of sad because I wanted things to work for y'all. And I'm so excited that 7 years later we're getting to celebrate Mr. and Mrs. Blackmon. But there was a lot of waiting and a lot of growing that happened. And I had the sweetest moment of just seeing how clearly I wanted Jonathan to be my brother-in-law and to be Lindsey's husband last summer. Lindsey and I were both getting to co-direct Camp Briarwood, and Jonathan was out there essentially as our third director. It was wonderful. We had a tough situation where, and Lindsey was kind of upset about things. When you're working with a bunch of people, we had a staff of like 20, and interpersonal relationships can be kind of tough. So I talked with her and felt like things were okay, and was trying to manage the rest of the situation. And I realized I needed to go check on Lindsey again later, because she just loves people so well that if anybody's upset, Lindsey's going to be feeling it. And I found Lindsey and Jonathan on the back porch of the lodge where we were at camp. And Lindsey was crying, and Jonathan was holding her hand, and he was praying with her. And in that moment, I was coming in to be your big sister. And I saw that Jonathan was already there loving you so much better than I had loved you. And it was just the sweetest, most affirming thing to see that this man that you love is somebody who's going to love you that way, and that he's going to love you better than I have ever loved you. And that's really exciting. Jonathan, I'm so excited that you're going to be my brother, and I'm so excited to see all that God has planned for both of you. We love you. Cheers.
I have my black coffee. You have your black coffee?
Mine's all gone.
Remember that picture they showed? David had a bow and arrow. Jonathan had some kind of weapon. A knife or a screwdriver or something. He's looking at David like, I'm going to get you. Y'all don't know Jonathan when he was young. He was just a little terror. We've got a picture. It was a screensaver for a long time. It says 2004 Christmas. Everybody's smiling except Jonathan. Everybody's smiling for the Christmas pose, and Jonathan's doing it. Right? Right. And the time I remember Jonathan coming to grips with life is not fair. He had been on a dirt bike and it had hurt his neck, and we were in the emergency room, and they put this contraption on that was going to sort of pull your jaw back or something. So the thing you really needed to do was not pull the tension off, but the only thing you really, really wanted to do was pull that thing, and you would just cry. Why could you not do what you really, really wanted to do? Because it was the best thing for you. And I think you've lived your life that way so far, and I toast you for that. And I want to toast Melinda tonight. This may be out of protocol, but we didn't know if Melinda would even be here this night at one time. And she has battled for many years now and is doing great, has a great team of doctors, and we're just so happy and so pleased. So, with my toast, a black coffee, which I taught you to drink, right? And you are a summer student in our office. I toast all of y'all. Cheers.
I'm Lindsey. I married into the Blackmon family. This is my sweet honey baby, Anna Joy. And but the first time I met Jonathan, there was a few things that really stuck out about Jonathan. One was that the boy could eat. It's already said, and he could eat, and he was just one plate after the next. It was during a Thanksgiving meal, and we enjoyed a good time of conversation. And the second thing was the girl he was dating was super sweet. And Lindsey came in, and she just genuinely cared and was affirmative, and she was a listener. And I just thought she was an absolute doll, and Jonathan was on the right track. And so it's so neat to see you guys together today. But maybe something that was so distinctive in my mind about Jonathan in particular is Anna Joy and I were at this Christian concert, and a few people were playing, but one of them was Shane and Shane, and they were leading into this worship time. And I'm watching all these high school students, and they're doing what typical high school students are doing. They're hanging out, they're talking, they're trying to mix and mingle. And I said to Anna Joy, I wonder what the love of the Lord is like in this room right now. I'm not trying to judge the college students, but just wondering who really loves the Lord in this room. And she looks at me, she says, what do you expect these students to be doing right now? And I look over, and Jonathan has his hands lifted, his eyes closed, and he's praising the Lord. And I said, that's what it's supposed to look like. Here's a man after God's heart. I just want to say to you guys, as you're getting ready to start your journey together, and as a new family tomorrow, worship the Lord God with all of your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your strength. And I know that you'll take your gifts and love your neighbors as well. Love you guys.
Hey everyone, I'm Jonathan Kelly, and this is Greer and James and JC. We all lived with JB this past year in a home, affectionately known as the farmhouse. But beyond that, I lived with JB all 4 years at Covenant. So, Lindsey, I'm 4 years ahead of you on rooming with JB. So it's going to be quite a while before you catch up. So I just wanted to take some time and give you some advice on rooming with JB. David already gave some, but I want to kind of add to it with three things that are going to help to get you to know JB a little bit better. So, number one, you don't really know JB until you know what hard work looks like. That plays into one of your most important jobs as his roommate. JB is one of the hardest workers I know since day one at Covenant. Countless hours in the library. And then with the MCAT, studying nonstop for that. And then it's whatever jobs he had, whatever, as an RA, whatever he was doing, he always gave it his all and worked hard. I said countless hours in the library. Freshman year, that's definitely true. JB did nothing but spend time in the library and play soccer. So that's where you come in as his roommate, to make sure he doesn't study too hard. You got to study hard in med school, I've been told. I don't know. But you're going to be doing it too, so you're going to know. But that means you're going to know the workload. And you know that sometimes he might need a night off. JB needs a roommate who's going to tell him to take a night off, to have some fun. I tried to keep him balanced as a college student by having fun, and he kept me balanced by telling me that we do have to study sometimes too. So make sure he studies, but not too much. Thing number two, you don't know JB until you've seen him past 11 p.m. In our house, we have a term. We have JB, but then you have late night JB. And I kid you not, you can be sitting there, you can be looking at your watch, and the moment it strikes 11 p.m., just a switch just flips. And he's just a totally different guy. He'll be running around, yelling, jumping off the sofas. Just anytime, just gets to that point. And it's a great thing to watch. It can be a little startling at first. I remember the first time I saw late night JB, probably halfway through the first semester, freshman year, just kind of being like, who is this guy? Like, that's definitely not my roommate, but he's a fun guy. But also make sure he doesn't come out 2 months, because you gotta find a balance there as well. And third point, you don't know JB until you know Jesus. No one in my life has modeled Jesus better than JB. Being his roommate, seeing him every morning, spending time in the Word, and then not only that, but encouraging others in their time with the Lord. Always asking me how I'm doing, not just surface level, but how I'm doing with spiritual matters, and then praying for me, always asking how I can pray for people, and then really meaning that too. I'm sure many of you have had JB ask you how I can pray for you. He writes that on a note card, and he'll look at the note card and he'll pray for you, and then he'll tell you, hey, my card's out of date, like, update me what I need to pray for. JB loves Jesus well, which is why I'm sure that he's going to love you well, because he knows the ultimate source of that love. When I first heard about JB, it was getting my housing assignment for freshman year. I'd signed up to room with another guy, Drew Latner, and they get the housing assignment, and I'm with Drew Latner and Jonathan Blackmon. Was not expecting a third roommate at all. I was kind of crushed right away, like, I don't want a third roommate, and came in freshman year, and wouldn't really say we clicked first semester or second semester. We didn't like not get along, but like I said, he was studying and playing soccer, and I was just kind of adjusting the covenant. At the end of our freshman year, we were all kind of poised to break up the room and spread out. We didn't even really talk about living together again, just because we both kind of knew there wasn't strong connection there. And then one day I was trying to figure out my housing, and kind of asked him, like, well, what if we did room together again? And like, yeah, like, let's do that. And to this day, I can't tell you like what rationally led to that thought, but it was definitely Jesus working in both of our lives to lead us to room together again. And I'd say that's one of the best decisions I've ever made, and you've grown to be one of my best friends and love your whole lot. So here's to you, and may you be best roommates for each other.
That's it.
Auburn, and I, from the very get-go, knew I wanted to be friends with Lindsey, but didn't know how I was going to accomplish that. And so, Jonathan, I was watching out for you because there was this guy that kind of was like interested in Lindsey. Y'all were still dating, but you're.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So everyone is telling Lindsey that this guy likes her, and I'm like, he does not, Lindsey, like absolutely not. And I'm the only one telling her he doesn't. And then last year I confessed that I did think that he liked her, but I just wanted her to be my friend. So, I was like sticking by her, protecting you too. Don't be so, but that's how we became friends. So watching out for you. But today I was thinking about what am I going to say, and the only thing that I could kept coming to mind was joy. That is what I think of when I think of Lindsey and Jonathan, and the verse in Nehemiah, the joy of the Lord is your strength. That is what I think about when I think of you two. Whether they're going through something or just like on a daily basis, like she's giving joy to other people, and that so many times in college strengthened me and got me through a lot. And then you see Jonathan come to town and that open mouth smile that you saw on every single picture on the slideshow. That's on Lindsey's face for the whole weekend, and he just fills her with joy too. And so I know that you're going to have a joyful life together and spread that in Auburn, and all of your patience that you will serve over the many years together. So I'm so excited for y'all, and all the Lord is going to do in your lives. Love y'all.
We've been friends for a very long time. I think one of the first times, or really my first memory or image of Lindsey is me and Linz dancing at Briarwood together. And I was picture at my house, and we're both in these little Christmas costumes, and Miss Lisa's there taking a picture of Lindsey, and just sweet long-term memories, just sweet memories. And one of the first memories I remember about Jonathan is, so me and Lindsey are driving together to Doodles. And for those of y'all who do not know, Doodles is this amazing ice cream place. And Lindsey's like, okay, Hannah, there's this guy. And he's really sparked my interest. I kind of like him. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, who is he? And she said, Jonathan Blackmon. I said, Jonathan Blackmon, I don't think so. And she's like, why? She said, I was like, I think he's talking to somebody. And she was like, are you sure? I was like, you know what? Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. And she's like, well, okay, that's good to know. Thanks so much. So we get to Doodles, and the next thing I know, Lindsey and Jonathan are just they are in their own world in like the sweetest way, and not like in a secluded way, but in just like they just love being together and like love being with each other. And I was like, oh, that's it. Forget about that other girl. But that other girl, it was like a one-sided thing that sweet Joe Blige just also, yeah. Anyways, but really, when I really think about Jonathan and Lindsey, I just think about how sweet and selfless they are and everything that they do and everything they exude is just joy and it's love and it's the other before themselves. And that goes with each other and with friendships, and it's just meant the world to me. And just watching y'all and just like being friends with you guys has just like changed my life. And I think about that picture of us like in our Christmas costumes, and I just think of how just the warmth that Lindsey brings and just the, I guess like for lack of better, longevity like that y'all bring, and it's just so consistent. Y'all are so constant in everything that y'all do, or everything you do, Linz. And I know that Jonathan's the same exact way, and y'all are just friends forever. Just I know that for everyone in this room, like y'all could not talk to Lindsey and Jonathan for the next 5 years, and the next day y'all could just be best friends again. And I think that just speaks so much of their character and how much that they just genuinely love, and it's not at a selfless place, and it's always about the other person. And I'm just so thankful to be here this weekend and celebrate with y'all and stand next to y'all, and I cannot imagine two better people to marry each other. And so congratulations, I love y'all so, so much, and so thankful for y'all.
But I met Lindsey, I guess I met Lindsey a couple of times before college, but really got to know Lindsey my freshman year. And I think like Caroline was saying, immediately was like, I want to be friends with her. She's awesome. So we started, we pledged the same sorority and got to know her. And we started living together sophomore year and lived together the next 3 years. And God, there's so many things I could say about Lindsey. Today when I was trying to brainstorm, I didn't even know where to begin. I remember one time someone at Auburn came up to me and they had just met Lindsey and they said, is she perfect? Like, every time I talk to her, she's like the nicest person I ever met. And said, I've lived with her for 2 years and I've yet to find a flaw, so good luck. But anyways, one thing I love about Lindsey is Lindsey will always find the beauty in the, not just the beauty, but like the bright side of things. Like, I remember one time we were going to church and we were running late, and I was really stressed. I don't like being late, and I remember Lindsey saying, I kind of like being late. And I was like, Lindsey, you're literally just trying to say that to calm me down. And she's like, no, I like when you have to walk down the aisle and be the first person on the road. She's like, sometimes I pretend like I'm getting married. So, tomorrow's your big day. Lindsey's one of my best friends in the whole world. Truly, when I think about the people that have encouraged me in my walk with the Lord, like, I think Lindsey, I can confidently say Lindsey, out of any person in this world, has encouraged me more in my walk with the Lord. And that's something that I'm so thankful for. I'm going to tear up thinking about it. But another thing that I like to say is just, Jonathan, like, honestly, you've, like, far exceeded my expectations for someone that could marry Lindsey. Like, every time you used to come to town, I remember y'all would go to dinner, and y'all were doing long distance at that point. Like, y'all didn't get to see each other that much. And I feel like y'all would always invite me to go to dinner, like, probably hoping that I would say no. And I was always like, okay. But so thanks for letting me be real. I just truly adore y'all, and I cannot wait to see what the Lord does through y'all and in y'all's relationship. Y'all are truly two of the most special people I know. I'm so serious, but cheers to y'all.
We love you guys, seriously. Y'all are from all over the place, and we're just so grateful for you, family, friends. Mom and Dad, thank you so much. This was incredible. Conrys, thank you so much for tomorrow, and for making me part of your family. I really do appreciate that more than you know. And yeah, I wanted to say more, but we're in a hurry. But so you know, just here in front of all these people, you know I love Lindsey, but I truly will, by God's grace, never leave her or forsake her, and do every single thing I can to love her. And so thank you for giving me that opportunity. And Bride, I can say that. I love you, and I'm so excited for tomorrow. You truly have seen my sin more than anyone, and you have shown me love in Christ more than anyone. And I just want to do life with you, and I'm so grateful that I get to. And yeah, I'm so grateful that the Lord is good, and that tonight's been probably the biggest taste of new heaven and new earth splendor I've had. And you guys are here and made that happen. So I love y'all, and now get out.